Hi, all. Welcome to Business, Beer, and Becoming. My name is Latanya Renee, and today, let's talk procurement. So, procurement, that is a big word. And if you ask most people what it is, they could not begin to tell you what procurement is. In essence, procurement is a business methodology. It is the process of sourcing, as we like to call it, but in layman's terms, it's just basically buying, bidding, and contracting with businesses for any product or services that your organization needs. And when I say your organization, that could be a not for profit organization, it could be a corporate entity, or it could be a government. It could be city, it could be a school district, it could be a county, a state, or the biggest buying organization, the federal government. So all of these entities or groups have what is called the procurement department. And that procurement department, simply put, is responsible for all the buying of that organization. So today I want to take that terminology and take the mystery out of it and make it easy. And I'm going to do so utilizing my little pen here. So in this example, we're going to talk about what it would take to purchase my little spinner pen. So first, before it even gets to the point of us deciding that this pen is what we want, what has to happen is we have to decide that we need to buy something. And in this instance, we're deciding that we're going to buy this pen. And there are certain aspects to this pen that exist. We want it to be blue in color. As you can see, it has a little yellow knob here. So we want the little yellow knob that the little spinner sits on. We want a spinner. We want the spinner in the same color as the actual pen. We have the little cap that's on the pen. We have the pen portion that is contained inside. And in this instance, we're going to say that this pen writes in blue ink as well. So what I just described to you when you're looking to buy an item are the requirements. So now that we've determined our requirements and what we're looking for with this pen, we then have to send out our requirements to a group of suppliers that actually sell pens. The reason that's really important, because I know I can go to the store and buy this pen, but if I go to the store and buy this pen, more than likely this pen, let's for example's sake, say this pen is going to be $5 if I buy it at the store. What if I'm looking to buy 100,000 pens? At $5 a pop, that's a lot of money for an organization. I want to save money when I'm buying for my organization because that's one of the roles of procurement. So I want to find suppliers that actually manufacture this pen. And if I can find a supplier that manufactures this pen, more than likely, I can get it at a much cheaper price than $5 per pen. So that is what we call the bidding process of procurement. So I've set up my requirements. Now I'm going to reach out to suppliers who manufactures these types of pens. And then I'm going to say, hey, I am going to be placing a bid for these pens. Here are my requirements. So once I've sent out that bid to particular manufacturers who manufactures pens, I'm then going to get a group of suppliers or who manufactures these pens come back to me and says, hey, I'm interested. I want to participate on your bid. So once they determine they want to participate on my bid, we now go into the process where we say, we need you to respond, or we need for you to tell us about how you produce, manufacture, and tell us the cost of these pens to buy them from your organization. That is the assessment process when we take a look at what they have submitted to us as a response. Once we select the supplier, we tell them that you've won the bid. Hopefully you're an organization that gives feedback to tell the other suppliers why you didn't win. It could be for price. It could be for you offered me a red pen instead of a blue pen and I wanted a blue pen, so we didn't select you because you didn't meet all of the requirements. And once that's done, we then begin the contracting process with the supplier who won the bid. Now, even though they gave us pricing in the competitive portion, that pricing may have been the best pricing of all the suppliers, we still want to negotiate. Maybe we want to say, for the price that you've offered, we want more pens for that price. Or maybe part of the negotiation is, well, even though you had the best competitive bid, maybe we want you to bring down the price a little. Or maybe we want the quality of materials that you use to be higher for the pricing that you've offered. So that's where the negotiation and the contracting phase takes place in the procurement. So once you negotiate your contract, it's time to create an order, because everything before now is just speculation. You're just saying, we think we need 100,000 pens. We think we wanted them in blue. We think we wanted them this colors. We gave you all those requirements. But now this is where you really finalize exactly what you want. And then you give that supplier that you did a contract with, after you signed all the contracts, you give them an order. And that order is what we call a purchase order. Basically the order to purchase the pens based on the contracting, based on the dollar amount, based on the material, type of material, based on the color, based on everything that we put in that bid and we finalize in the negotiation. That's the order that we would place with that supplier. So after you create your purchase order and send to the supplier, it is time for the supplier to fulfill that contract. So in essence, it's time for the supplier to then go ahead and send you your pens. So once they send me my 100,000 pens that I ordered and I did my contract for, I will get those pens shipped to me. Once we get them shipped to us, the next step is for us to receive and assess the items that they sent. Are all our pens good? Did they meet all the requirements? Are they all blue? Do they spin left? Do they spin right? Do they have the white cap on the bottom? Did they have the name that we decided we wanted to print on the front of the pen? Does every pen meet the specifications that we set in the contract? Okay, so once we've checked it, we've inspected it, and we've determined, yes, all of our blue pens are exact to specification, exactly as we wanted them. Now it's time to approve and pay the invoice. And the invoice is, in essence, the receipt, if you will, that the supplier sends to us to say, hey, for 100,000 pens, we said we were going to provide at this color with all the specifications for the price that we negotiated. Here is the total dollar amount that you now owe us. So once we get that, we receive it, we pay it, and that part of the process is done. So once we've received, we've approved, we've paid it, now what we want to do as part of the procurement process is we want to make sure that we actually have a record of the events that occurred. Because who knows, after we use up these 100,000 pens, maybe we want to come back and bid for more. And so we could utilize that same supplier, depends on what our contract stated, or maybe we might go out for bid again, or maybe this time around we want red pens, and so we're going to go out and bid for red pens, and so we might set another bid. So it's important to keep a record of that because it's great for history when you're looking to procure something. Maybe that procurement may have happened in the future, so you want to know what you did previously. So within that process, procurement does a lot of things because they manage the entire supply chain, generally the entire supply chain. So the delivery and services, they make sure that everything that we got was what was promised. They protect the company from risk. So whether that be cybersecurity, they do a lot of the risk-based services for the company or the government. The contracting, managing the contracting, the back and forth negotiation, working with legal with regard to those contracts. And that is the process or some of the things that happen within a procurement department. So what do procurement departments purchase? Is it, it's more than just pens, okay? Procurement departments can purchase anything from paper products to computer equipment, snow removal. You want to have things done to your facility. You want to have the walls painted. You want to have someone come in and vacuum, janitorial services, computers, multi-million-dollar tech. The procurement can purchase anywhere from items like this little pen all the way up to multi-million-dollar technology. So how do you find out about procurements if you are a small business? There are multiple ways. Sometimes those procurements go out to different organizations, so having those affiliations with organizations. Sometimes those procurement organizations have portals in which you can register in, so that when they're looking for a supplier, they'll go to that portal and they'll search the product or service they're looking to buy, and they'll see who comes up in their registration portal. So definitely, if you're interested in doing business with governments and companies and not-for-profits, find out if they have a portal, register in those portals. Other ways, if you're looking to do business with government, if you can't handle some of their larger procurements, because sometimes it requires a very, very big company and you may not fit the bill, look at things like subcontracting. And what is subcontracting? In essence, subcontracting is when a large contractor wins the bid, but they say, this is a big, big contract and we can't fulfill it all on our own. So we're going to need some subcontractors to come in and do some specialty work that we don't really do. So we're now looking to procure services. So government agencies often present their bids online so that you can find out what bids are out there. And they often require large corporations to do business with smaller companies. So one way that you can start getting into the procurement process is looking at government procurement. I'm going to do a special video specifically on government procurement because it's a whole other animal. It's a beast and it's a big procurement space, as I mentioned before. But the thing about it, if you can get or win government contracts, that can fuel your business. So it behooves you, if you have a small business, to learn about government contracting. So that's it for today on procurement. I just wanted to provide that value of knowledge that I have because I have worked in this space for almost 14 years, and I've done it in the not-for-profit, in the government, as well as for large corporations, multinational corporations. So I'm looking forward to bringing you some more knowledge on how to really get engaged with those government contracts because they can be very lucrative, even if you're a small business. I want to talk about tier 2 because that's another space in procurement. And there are just a whole host of ways that you can grow your business if you offer products or services to B2B or business to business. So looking forward to having those conversations. And now it's time for the beer. Okay, here's our beer for today. So I'm doing the whole green thing today. Green nails, green shirt, and my favorite dessert is key lime pie. So when I saw this beer, I said, this is amazing. They have key lime beer. So this is key lime sour ale, and this is by ATB, Around the Bend Brewery. And so I just thought this was going to be great to have a key lime beer, but because this is an ale, an ale, the reason qualifies for an ale is because of how it's fermented. So ales are fermented differently from your regular beer, and usually the fermenting method results in a sweet, full body, and fruity taste. And this is 6% alcohol, which is a little bit higher than your average 4 or 5. So this is at 6%. And it has some lactose in it. So if you have those kinds of challenges, you may want to steer clear of this because of the lactose. But we're gonna open it up and see if we can get a good head on this beer. Let's give it a try. Alrighty. Gonna tilt. Okay, I'm getting better and better at this every time. And look at the color on this. We talked about it being key lime. Look at that nice lime coloring. So it's even down to the color. So when I smell it, it has a scent of like a key lime scent. So let's go ahead and give it a taste and see if my favorite dessert is going to translate to a favorite beer. Woohoo! That's very sour. Very, very sour. And at the end, I can almost taste like the graham cracker taste, but it's very, very tart. I can definitely taste the alcohol in it. Man, that's tart. But it is very, very tart. So here it is, key lime sour ale. It is sour and tart like key lime, but it does not have the sweetness like key lime. So if you like key lime, but you like the sweet tart, this is not going to be that sweet tart that you normally have. But I can taste the kind of graham cracker. It is definitely very tart and sour, but it's an interesting beer. So thank you again for joining me for another recording. This is number 3. Until next time, bye-bye. See you soon.